trees, big brave pants riding with ease.
So here we are again at Tales from the Hayloft in Big Brave Pants headquarters here at Larkley's Equestrian. And this week I've got our lovely friend, well, my lovely friend, but she's going to become your lovely friend as well. Lovely Mandy. And I have been looking forward to this, and I know that I'm going to be laughing my head off. So I'm going to apologise now because I know my laugh is really loud. And that my husband, when he's editing this, is probably going to have to turn it down. So apologies first. So Mandy,
good evening.
Welcome to our podcast.
Wait.
I can't wait.
Thank you for having me on April the 1st, loves.
I know, actually, that's so apt that we've got you on April the 1st.
I think so.
And I think this could be a long one because there are so many stories and tales that we can drag out.
I need to ask you two something first then, is how you knew each other. I thought you were actually some way related.
Well, we almost are, actually. Almost are. So I know Mandy because Mandy and Dawn are best friends.
Right.
And Dawn is my cousin.
So there is a relating.
Yes. So I do feel like we're related.
Okay.
And we got to know each other really well because Dawn got married 4 years ago now?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
So she got married and we were bridesmaids.
So that's why.
Seriously.
Quite recently then, actually.
It was the best thing ever.
It was such fun.
It was
the
such
shopping
a
was
laugh.
great.
Yeah.
The dresses.
Yeah.
We're not dressed people. I'm not. It was really hard.
Yeah, the shopping, the lunches, and then the getting ready, and it was
Crazy golf.
Oh, crazy golf! Yeah, those pictures keep coming up on my phone. Actually,
I know, me too.
Yeah. So that's how I know Mandy.
So not a long time then.
Not a long time.
Just feels like a long time.
Yeah, it feels like
we kind of set in all right, didn't we?
Yes.
Crazy.
We did, yeah, but we've had many a night out and a good laugh.
Yes.
And the stories.
Yes.
So I can't wait for you to share them, Mandy. So I think we ought to start from the beginning.
Okay.
So when did ponies come into your life?
Oh crikey! From literally from when I could walk, because we lived in Brockenhurst, and our gate opened to the forest.
Oh, how lovely!
And I was pony obsessed from the moment I saw them walk by.
So not a horsey family then?
No, God, my mother was terrified of them.
Oh, okay.
My dad was more. He loved the forest, but he wasn't into ponies. But my grandfather, he had a pony. He had a New Forest pony that he actually did a log round with.
Oh
really?
So a long, long time ago, my grandfather used to deliver logs around the forests, and this little pony, who was about 13 hands, little registered forest pony, his delivery would take him as far as Southampton.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
From Boulder.
Wow.
And that was normal. So they were he was incredibly well looked after. He was very much loved by my grandfather.
Mm.
My mother always said he loved it better than anybody else. And my mum hated them because she did a silly thing as a young girl. Nobby, as the pony was called, was rolling in the field, and she decided to go and jump on his tummy.
Oh God.
She got absolutely kicked to smithereens.
Oh dear.
So she never went near horses again.
Oh God.
And thought I was
Just
completely
like it should
loopy,
get
but I obviously inherited it from my granddad.
Yeah.
And that became proof when one day I was riding down Sandy Down, and there used to be an allotment halfway down Sandy Down.
Yeah.
And this old boy came hobbling after me, shouting at me, "Oh, you, come back." So I went back and I thought, he must have a problem, bless him. So I went back and he said, "Are you related to Bert King?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I knew you, the way you rode."
Was that a compliment?
Yeah. When I was riding with one hand on my thigh, and
Yeah.
the reins in the other hand, and he said he never rode anywhere. And he said, "I just looked at you and I thought, you've got to be relation to Bert King." How old is that? How old is that?
Wow. Yeah.
So that's where it was. And we couldn't afford ponies, so my dad was very kind. He made me a saddle that he put on the gate and a pair of reins.
Aww.
And a lady rode by one day on a little pony called Benjamin, and she said to me, "Are you having a ride?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was having a ride." And she spoke to my mum, and she used to take me for riding lessons out around the forest on little Benjamin.
Oh,
And she was the star of it. She was lovely.
Is she still around?
Yvonne's still around, yeah.
And do you
Yeah.
still see
I
her?
see it. I speak to her very, very rarely, but
Yeah.
I know she's still about. And it was just an amazing way to start. And
Very
then,
kind.
oh, she was
of her.
super. She was
Yeah.
super. And then progressing from that, I went to work at a riding, well, actually it was a trekking centre.
Right.
And I used to have to sneak off because my mum used to hate me going because she didn't
Oh.
I'd get injured. And my dad used to wake me up and go, your mother's still asleep. So I'd go off to this trekking centre. And they had about 100 ponies.
Oh, gosh.
Health and safety was not done.
I know, we've said that many
We have
times.
said
Oh
that.
my
Right.
goodness.
Yes.
I mean, but we all survived it and you learnt a lot.
Yeah.
And I started off just sort of mucking out things and getting ponies in. And then I worked my way up to escort for the ride. So it was wonderful because we trekked the forest every day on these ponies. But the chap had 100 ponies, but he didn't have 100 saddles.
No.
So us poor grooms used to have to go on a day trek with no saddle.
No,
So it
not.
certainly improved your seat. And the ponies used to come from an Irish dealer. And we used to go and pick them up from Swade when he brought them over. And they'd come at the beginning of the season.
Mm.
And we always thought that they were trained ponies. And we wondered why we never got home, because we'd get on them over at Sway and ride back to Brockenhurst. But we never, ever made it beyond the first railway bridge. Because as soon as they saw a car or a train, they just bolted in every direction. And we were riding one and leading two. I mean, because we were like 14 years old, and there was ponies all over the forest. We eventually caught them and got home, much to the annoyance of the owner of the school, because he was like, "You've been hours."
Perhaps he should have made sure you say the horses were rideable.
Yeah, it was. We couldn't understand why we was all getting bucked off or taken off with, and they went all over the place. And then I met the Irish dealer when I was probably I was married to Pete, so I'd have been 41 plus, and he said, "Your face looks familiar." And I said, "Yeah, I know who you are. You used to supply us with ponies. You're the dealer that used to bring them over from Ireland." And he said, "You're not one of those unfortunate kids." And I went, "Yeah." And he said, "Do you know they were never broken in?" He said, "We relied on you kids to get them home." He said, "We knew a season in the trekking centre, they'd be broken in by the end of it, and then they were sold, and then we'd start again the next year." So I'm quite sure I survived it.
Or how any of the customers survived, to be honest, then, in the
It
trekking
was a
centre.
bit of a nightmare, but to be honest, they used to have very set places. You learnt these treks. Like one was like to Burley, one was like to Ashurst, and so you learnt these treks. But unfortunately, the ponies learnt it as well.
Yeah.
So there were canter spots, but it was always quite amusing because whenever the ponies got to Whitefield Moor, say, they think, "Oh, it's cantering," and these poor trekkers some of them never been on a horse in their life, and the ponies would be gone, and it always amused me terribly as a young girl that whenever their ponies took off, they always had their hands up here, never down. They were always up here, and they'd fall off. And we had one chap going across Whitefield Moor, and he was on a big old mare called Muffin. She looked like a mule. She was a big old thing, and she went under a branch, but it was a big sort of oak branch like this.
Yeah.
But he just grabbed it. So he was left suspended on the branch. I mean, just hilarious things that happened. I mean, just so dangerous.
Before anyone was suing people, because riding schools now would be
You'd never
out
get
of
away with it,
business
and it was-
because
it was a-
everyone
it was a
sues them
project.
for anything.
Yeah, and they'd come on, they'd arrive on the Saturday, they didn't ride, and they'd have sent us a form, like an assessment form. They always lied about their weight. They'd always put like 10 stone, and somebody would come that was much too heavy, so we'd have to give them a big cob or something. And it was very difficult to fit them for ponies, and they'd lie about how their riding ability was. "Oh, yeah, I've been riding for years," and within 5 seconds they're on the floor. And then on Sunday afternoon we rode for 2 hours to get them accustomed to it and swap ponies around if they had one that was too much, which was 90% of them. And then on the Monday we'd start a day trek, and the ponies, this is why they were so trained, they did an hour's ride from 9 to 10 with ordinary clients, and then 10:30 the trekkers got on and we rode to 4, and then from 5 to 6 they did another hour.
They were just worn out.
Wow.
So they were fit as fleas. I have to say they looked amazing.
Yeah.
But they weren't, you couldn't really call them trained. And I took a load down Spey Road once, and a bus came along and 40 of them fell off.
40?
It looked like a machine gun had gone off.
Oh my goodness.
And the owner drove up behind and he went, "Get them back on them horses." So we slapped them all back on, and on we carried. 40 people fell off on the road. I mean, roads weren't so busy then, but once one went, they
like
all went.
dominoes.
It was. They were just all falling off over. I think I was perhaps the only one to stay on that day. We probably didn't have so many out, but the most we used to take out a time was 70. Can you imagine? We took
I
70
can't
riders out.
imagine how the horses cope,
They
Because even
didn't.
in sort of groups of
They
3,
took off all
4,
over
they
the
start
place.
to get silly,
But
don't
by
they?
the end of the season, they'd learned it. As I said, it still
Yeah.
used to take off across the greens. But for the winter, they used to go up to
Mm.
New Park and onto grazing and just rest for the whole winter. And it then became a hunter
Yeah.
and point yard.
Oh, nice.
So that was, I
Yeah.
rode pointers there and hunters. And
Mm.
so that was nice. Except I didn't really understand the speed of a thoroughbred when I first got
it's
plopped
amazing.
on one.
Yes.
You didn't get a choice. You had your name drawn out of a hat,
Mm.
and you picked that you were given 2, so you rode and led.
Yeah.
And we'd go trekking out to Wilverley, and you had to gallop 3 times around Wilverley. I couldn't wait. I didn't take into account that the horse was going to plunge like a git all the way there. She was so excited knowing what was coming. And the horse was called Joker. I've never forgotten it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he had the right name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he took off around the green at speed. And I can remember thinking by the time I'd got to the 3rd lap, as a 14-year-old, I thought my muscles can't take him, I'm going to fall off. When we thankfully came to a halt and he walked home like a lamb. So it was a hard, tough start, but I wouldn't have changed it for the world.
Mm.
I met an awful. I'm still in touch with a lot of the riders.
Oh,
Believe it or not.
really?
Yeah, still in touch with a lot of the riders from all over the world. I say by the time Wednesday came, they were raw because they'd never been on a horse
Mm.
before.
God.
So we
can
advised
imagine.
tights. Tights were very good at stopping you getting saddle sore,
Mm-mm.
Oh,
and they'd
yeah.
carry on underneath the job because it stops the
Yeah.
friction. So they
Mm.
didn't have quite such bleeding legs.
Ouch.
And the tack on the big horses was the old military saddles. Do you remember the old military with the
Yeah.
wooden panels on the back?
Good Lord.
Just showing my age,
Mm.
but incredible way to learn.
Yeah.
Met a lot of friends, learnt to ride a lot, and had a lot of fun. And then they got this head girl in she was an amazing teacher, and she taught me a lot.
Mm.
She sort of got me on the path of better riding.
So when did you buy your own horse?
I bought it from that trekking centre when I
Ah.
left. He was called Carrots. He was over from Ireland.
Oh.
And the reason I bought it was because they were going to shoot him because he kept attacking
Oh.
everybody.
Oh.
He hated men,
Mm.
and if a man walked into the field, he'd really go for them.
Yeah.
So the only way to rescue Carrots was to take him home.
Oh.
So I managed to persuade my dad to find me a bit of grazing, and I took Carrots home.
Yeah.
And he turned into the most wonderful hunting pony I've ever had.
Oh.
He was amazing. Completely useless at show jumping,
Mm.
despite my efforts to take him to every local show that I could hack to.
Oh.
And Carrots was like, if you think I'm going over that, you're dreaming.
So
And
how old were you at this point then?
I would have been 16.
So still pretty
17,
young.
yeah.
then, even with
So I couldn't get him over a jump at all, but out
No.
hunting, you fly over anything.
Wow.
Typical Irish pony. Couldn't see the sense of it.
So did you have him till he?
Yeah, I did. I had him
Passed
to
or-
the past, yeah.
yeah.
Couldn't have passed on to anybody else because he'd killed them.
Mm.
Very much one person. He didn't trust people. We'd had
Yeah.
enough time coming over from Ireland, so he was a
Yeah.
funny little pony. And then I think I got my next pony I bought off of the Grellies. It was a part bred. It was a Welsh Cross New Forest, which probably now I'd be like, And he did me really well. He did a lot of dressage and an awful lot of show jumping. Brilliant show jumper.
Yeah.
Rubbish at cross country, but brilliant show jumper. And then when I married Pete, I was 41, and we set up the Hayloft Ponies and started breeding New Forest ponies.
Is that something you'd kind of always wanted to do, or was that
Well,
more
Pete
from
was
Pete?
Pete was already a commoner, and he'd had ponies on the forest since he was 12, 13.
Okay.
So he had, a few forest ponies.
Mm.
And he'd sold one that he'd bought off of Brian Ingram, Bobby.
No.
You know this.
I'm just gonna settle in.
I know.
Yes.
And he was a bit of a handful. He was quite a tank. Very much an old-fashioned forest pony. Leg at each corner, very square, very big built. And the girl that had him couldn't manage him. So Pete, in his wisdom, decided that he'd be perfect for me. So he was broken in by somebody else and came to me. And we didn't actually pay for him. We swapped him for a Mark II Cortina tow bar, which Pete fitted for them.
Ah, excellent.
And we got the pony. And he did his best to cart me around the forest for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
He had
What was Mandy? What was his nickname?
Bobby Bumhole.
Bobby
I've heard you say about that before.
Because he was so naughty that he earned that title. And I just never went anywhere without being carted with. He was great until he wasn't great. And if he thought things were getting boring, he just went for a good old gallop. And he'd go over anything, he'd jump anything. But I started hunting him. That was a disaster because I couldn't hold half side of him. The lady that broke him in had done it in a fortnight. and he had no brakes, no mouth or anything, and
Yeah.
I couldn't stop it. And I did really try to retrain him, but
Yeah.
it was all right until it went wrong, and then he just did his own thing. The hunt kept telling me, keep going, he'll settle down. No, he didn't. And it kind of came to an end when, I don't remember, we were up in the north of the forest and we were hunting hard, and he was flat out.
Yeah.
And I'm going down a gravel track, and I can see somebody can see that I've got no brakes, and they're shutting the gate. And I'm shouting,
God.
open the gate! Open the gate!
Oh
No,
my
she
gosh.
didn't open the gate,
Oh,
and he just
no.
smashed through it. Just went through it. He didn't try to jump it, he just went through it. He wasn't
Oh,
hanging.
gosh.
God.
I was gone. Eventually got it back and decided that hunting was not
Did
for
he
him.
not injure himself then?
No,
Going through a gate?
just smashed it. Just smashed it.
Just injured the gates. Go on.
So we had to replace a gate,
Mm.
and I thought, no, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Funny enough, didn't scare me. I think now I'd be like, I'm not getting on that
No,
ever again.
that's-
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
And then I got asked, well, I'd say by whom? It's Simon Young
Oh yes.
borrowed him. He said, I haven't got a pony. I need to go colt hunting. Can I have Bobby? And I went, Bobby Bumble, you really want Bobby Bumble? He was like, yeah. And I said, Simon, he's got no brakes. He went, that's just because you're a woman, you're weak. I was like, fine, Simon. Something to kill me about it. So he got on and he was jigging around. He'd never been colt hunting. He'd been hunting. That's bad enough. So he went off. When they came back, I think it's supposed to be behind the horses. Bobby's coming like a dingbat. And Simon shouted to me, where's the fucking brakes? And I said, you don't have any. So he went about a mile down the road, turned and came back. Shirley and I are crying with laughter.
And Simon Young's quite tall, isn't
He
he?
was a big chap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was probably about 17 stone.
Yeah.
Don't put that bit in. Edit that bit. 17 when he had it.
Sorry, Simon.
Yeah, I couldn't stop outside when he said to me, how did you start? I said, I couldn't. He said, you must be mad, take that hunting. So we only took him on one drive, didn't take him on any more. And then we did a display we were supposed to be doing it for the breed show.
Oh, I remember.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And there was strangles at New Park, so we had to go to Bewley.
Mm.
We did it in a field at Bewley, and we were doing a big promotion for the publicity group.
Mm.
And Shirley had.
So you brought your most well-behaved ponies out,
Well,
did you?
by then he was in the
quite good, was
quadrille team.
Ah.
Don't ask me how we got in the quadrille, but Shirley persuaded me to go in the quadrille team. We were dressed as Morris dancers,
Mm-hmm.
and we had 4 bells on each leg.
On horses' legs, obviously. Yes.
And we had loads on us, so we
Yeah.
literally jingled everywhere we went. So I had to go up and practice with Shirley, and again he was being a real tank in the quadrille, but she said, just stay next to me, make him stay next to me. No one's what you say. And Shirley said, you did what Shirley said.
Yeah.
She was a great teacher. And but the funny thing was when we first got there, they said, all the kit's there, put it, get ready. And so I put all the bells on, came walking out. I went, what? And she went, how did you get the bells on him? I said, you said strap him on his leg. She said, ours went spastic when we did that.
Oh,
It
dear.
literally erupted. And you've just put yours on. I
So
said,
you
"No,
didn't try that before the
No,
show?
I just put them on. He didn't take a bit of notice. He just poddled around.
Ah.
Didn't care less.
Mm.
Never did. And we did. So by the time we got to this display that we were doing in Bewley, he was pretty well trained on the quadrille thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
And he'd become, as long as there was fencing in an arena, I kind of had him. And I did a lot of dressage on him, won quite a bit on him. God knows how. Oh, my centre lines were always a 9 because they were dead straight. Because we looked like we're going out the door.
Yeah.
It was kind of like point and go. And so she asked if he could be borrowed by Simon.
Again.
Simon took
learned his
it.
lesson.
She said, he's going to do the quadrille thing here, obviously. So
Yeah.
you all have all your kit on, and we'll take the kit off him, and then Simon's going to do, and he and Alex Humble are going to pretend to be commoners, put a rope around their neck, and they're going to walk and trot around the arena because we know not to let Bobby canter because he'll be gone. So the boys came in laughing and joking, and Shirley was at a bit post. She was like, you two are next. You were doing the commoners thing. Remember, walk and trot only. Well, that started off all right, and then the boys got a bit, not the ponies, the blokes got a bit keen and a bit sort of racy. So they decided to have a little canter. Well, both ponies were gone, flat out, round and round this little ring. And Bobby was on the inside, and as Alex came round the outside, Bobby nudged him, and Alex's pony jumped out over a car bonnet and was gone across the car park.
Oh my
I cannot tell you, Shirley was incandescent with rage. ruined her display.
Oh my God.
Simon had to come out and take an absolute lacing. We had such fun. We've been to so many places and done so many things all together, the Youngs and I, and
Yeah.
a lot of it's been chaos.
Wow.
But dear old Bobby Bumhole was a force to be reckoned with.
And how long's Bobby Bumhole been gone?
Oh, a long time.
now.
Yeah, long time now, yeah.
And anything else ever lived up to his sort of reputation?
No, thank God, because he was actually the reason I started breaking in my own. I didn't want anybody else to touch my ponies from then on. I wanted a pony that I could, and then my next real pony was Elton.
Oh,
So
he was
Elton,
a legend.
yeah, he was a legend, and I actually turned him down for 6 weeks on the trot.
Oh, wow.
Because the lady that owned him was moving to Scotland.
Right.
And she didn't breed him. Prue Parsons bred him. And then the other lady, I can't remember her name, that used to work in Norris's, she had Elton, and he was running the forest. And
He's a
then
long cops.
Long cops Elton, yeah. So he came into a field after his time on the forest, and she was moving to Scotland, didn't want to take him. So she rang me and said, would you have Elton? And I said, no, I've got a stallion. I had a Smiler or sheep wash at the time. I don't need another stallion. So every week, for 6 weeks, she rang me. And I said, I really can't. And then in the end, I said to people, we'll just go and see him because she's driving me mad, bless her. So we went to behind Beauty Fire Station, and he was in a field with 2 geldings, and they were being really possessive over the food, and he was pushed off to one side. He was only a young pony then.
Yeah.
He was, I think, 3.
Yeah.
And I called him, and he picked up and he trotted across the field, and I saw that movement, and I just said, get the trailer. Took him home. The rest they say is history.
I mean, he's legendary, isn't he?
Yeah, his dressage became amazing. I worked really hard and trained a lot of work from Claire Moore and Andrew Harris's daughter, Emily, and we worked hard at training to go, because I wanted to try, because I'd never done a dressage test till I was 41, and that was on Bobby, and that was a disaster. But we got without, and I really trained, and I qualified for Lincoln, and I thought, this is marvellous.
This is the riding club.
Riding Club
finals.
National Championships, yeah. So I thought, how lovely, we're going for a little holiday. Had no idea that it was such a big thing. When we drove in, I kind of went, you've got to be joking, it was like 14 arenas set up.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever been up?
No.
It's massive. And it's run like clockwork, and I thought, I feel quite sick. And I took out and out, and they said, it's a stallion. I said, yeah, I did declare that. And they said, we've run out of stallion stables. He's quite small. Would he be all right in with the mares? Like, in a separate stable, obviously. And I said, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
I put him in there, and I got there in the morning, people had tied mares up outside, and he was totally ignoring them. His job was his job, and he wasn't on the job, but he was working, and he knew. He was great. So anyway, we got him out, and the lady came up to me, one of the organisers, and she said, can you put your pony away, dear? Children aren't until tomorrow. I said, I don't look like a child. She said, where is your child? And I said, no, he's in the adults. She went, my love, it's horses. It's horses dressage. And I said, no, he's here. I'm now getting a little bit annoyed. And we had to do 2 years probation before we were allowed to compete properly at the Nationals, because they said ponies couldn't compete. We'd be out of our league. So that was like a rag to report, which is why we got Claire Moore involved. And
my goodness. Did you do the riding, but they wouldn't count you?
Yeah.
So they didn't score you and think, oh, she's doing quite well. She's fine.
No, we had to prove to them that we could ride a dressage test. We had to make sure that we were good before we could do it. And so we were really hacked off. So we were determined. So we got a really good team. Well, Shirley and I got a really good team together, and we took out and up. And you go and compete, and you end up actually, they're in your arena. There's perhaps, I don't know, 30 competitors. Those arenas are all kind of marked as one, so you can come a final overall. So he won his arena, and I was really thrilled. Obviously, really thrilled. And then I was just putting him away. Sort of later, and it does drag on a lot over there because we're always waiting. I was just putting away, and they came running up and they said, "Get your kit back on. You've got to go down for a presentation." And I said, "No, I've had mine." And they said, "No, you've come second overall."
Oh, wow.
Still makes me cry. Out of 3,000 ponies, he come second overall.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. So I went down. I went into the arena where they were giving out the prizes, and they were like, oh my God, did you come in on that little pony? I was like, yeah, I was so proud.
Oh.
And so we did our lap of honour, and he really was like trotting round. And then we got called in to do photographs. And I did actually feel quite sorry for the lady that had won, because the person from the Horse and Hound wasn't the least bit interested that she won on a horse. But the little forest stallion that had run the forest had come second overall. So he made the Horse and Hound, and that's all they wrote about.
I mean, what was he, 13 too?
He was actually just under 13 hands.
Was he?
Yeah. He was 12 3 3/4 officially, but we used to say he was 13 hands because we took a lot of stick for having a small pony. I used to have to diet like hell to ride him. And but when you rode him, he felt big.
Yeah.
He had an amazing movement, which he thankfully passed on.
Yeah.
And
so are most of his offspring quite small as well?
No. Some are. It depends. It's very genetic, I've discovered. We have mares. Like we've got a little mare. She'd be about 12 3, and the two that she's had without have gone to 14 1. So when people say they don't get any bigger than the mare, I can absolutely disprove that. I have discovered that one of our mares proved it to me, that we had a grey mare, and if she had a grey foal, the genetics denote that foal wouldn't make past 13 2. If she had a black foal, which followed Alton's genetics, they were always 14 2 and preying. And so there's quite a few big Elton ones out there.
Is there?
Yes.
I thought that the Elton ones were quite big, because I'm thinking I can remember a few.
Yeah, there was a big roan called, well, she used to call him Romeo, the girl, and he did the point to point, and we could barely get him under. We had to get him officially measured to get him under.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were great movers, and just the genetic thing would just be that it would fire back somewhere in his pedigree. Must have been something big.
Really interesting.
And then I kept a son of his, which was Enigma, who I adored, and he was probably about 14 hands.
He was lovely chestnut, wasn't he?
Chestnut, absolutely. Even improved on his father's been. He had really big, powerful quarters, and he could really move. And he was terrific pony for
so am I
dressage.
right in saying you did the pairs with Dawn?
I did pairs with Dawn with Elton and with Enigma. And Elton worked with Dawn's mare, and he worked with Dawn's gelding side by side in dressage music pairs, and we took that to national level, and we came second. That was the highest we got, was second. We always wanted to win it, but we loved every minute of it. We loved it. And the ponies, and I also did it with my sister. She had one of Elton's sons, and they were absolutely matching. And we came second with that as well. And but I loved the dressage music. I loved picking the music, and Dawn and I would, make a test. Dawn was very good at sort of making the test. She was very good with me because she was known as the ventriloquist and I was known as the dummy. So I'd forget where she'd say we were going, and we'd be going on, and she'd go, "It's right here." Moving across the diagonal. It was all quite fun. And then we went up. She had her boy, and we went up to the nationals at Lincolnshire again. And we were doing a pairs up there. That was not to music, just straight pairs. And we got halfway around, and she said, "Boy's gone lame. What do we do? Do we carry on? I can feel he's not quite right." So we're having this conversation while riding this very complicated test. And when we come out, she said to me, "Well, he's definitely not quite right, but he's not that lame, thank goodness. But she said, I'm amazed you didn't go wrong, because I didn't tell you one bit where to go." We just talked about the horse. So, yeah, and we had such marvellous times up there. Yeah, we used to cook up there. I used to do all the cooking for everybody.
So how did you meet Dawn? She's your cousin.
My cousin.
Your cousin.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, am I asking you a question? She's somebody's cousin.
How
did you meet Dawn?
I met Dawn through Riding Club, I think.
Okay.
And then we were at a show at Mayhill doing dressage. And we were riding around together, chatting. We became friends. And we were riding around at the show together. And Dawn's mum said, "My God, those ponies move as one. You should do pairs." And that was the start. So we started doing just pairs competitions. And then we started adding the music to it. And we did some great things. We got asked to go and do a demo. Went up to Crofton, I think it was. A lady was doing, saying how you put music together, and then said, "Oh, these were the national championships. These people. This is what the test they rode." And we hadn't ridden them for 18 months. Out and been off at Stallion duties, and we'd been riding Enigma, and she'd been riding something else. And we went in, and they put the music on, and those ponies went, "Got this." I remember we were going to each other, "Who knows where he's going? I know he's going to go into canter." And they just hit it every note.
Brilliant.
They really did learn it.
Yeah.
They love
Oh, how
it. It's
fantastic.
been fabulous. We've had a fabulous time.
So have you, well, actually, no, I know the answer to this because sadly I know you lost Elton last year,
I
wasn't
did,
it? And
yes.
how old was he?
He was coming 28, just
Wow.
nearly on his 28th birthday.
Oh.
And he left you a little surprise, didn't he? That he didn't know
He did
about-
leave us a bit of a surprise. Yes, the little devil. Elton was obviously on lighter duty, so I didn't want him to run with mares anymore.
Yeah.
He'd lost his eye. He got kicked in an eye when he was quite a bit younger and lost an eye. And I found him with his eyeball on his cheek,
Oh, dear.
which was awful.
Mm,
And
yeah.
I was panicking, and I rang Down,
Mhm.
and I said, I've got a pony that's been kicked in the eye. And they said, oh my God, who is it? And I said, it's Elton. They went, we're on our way.
Oh.
They all knew Elton. And they came straight out.
Yeah.
I don't remember which vet it was now. I was in such a state.
Mm.
And they said, can you get him in the trailer? And I said, I don't know. What about his eye? And she said, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just get him in the trailer. And he walked straight in. He was so honest. He walked in the trailer, took him over. And they had a top lady there. I can't remember her name now. She still keeps in touch with me. It's terrible. I can't remember her name. And she said, we're going to take the eye out. And so Down had just started a Facebook page. And I put on there that Elton had gone in.
Mm.
And I got a call from Down saying, can you just put up a post saying no more carrots? I was like, pardon? They said we've got bagfuls of carrots have arrived here. He's possibly not going to get through them all. And it's lovely that they're all coming in, but they're kind of holding up the surgery. And we can't all come and visit him. So I put a thing up saying, I will keep you updated. I will send you some photos, but can you not visit?
Oh, bless
So
him.
it was lovely.
Yeah.
But the vets laughed at me because I started. They said, we'll come up with you when you first let him out. And he had to wear a special mask. I went up and they said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm showing him where the walk trough is and where the fences are. And they said, how long has he been in that field? I went, well, I don't know, 16, 17 years. They went, don't be so stupid. He got the other eye, he's perfectly fine. So I was worried he wouldn't know where he was going.
Oh, no.
No, he was my baby.
Yeah.
Bless him.
So yeah, I sadly lost him. But yes, going back to the surprise, because he needed a companion. And we had an elderly mare on the Forest, a little tiny chestnut mare was my favourite, Honey. And I thought, she has been out on that forest with all the stallions the last 4 years and not got in foals. If she's now barren, perfect, I'll put her in with Elton.
Yeah.
So I put her in with Elton, and sure enough, no foals, nothing. And then I lost Elton. Just went up there one day and he was just not right, and I lost him. I don't want to talk about it, but it was, I lost him.
Yeah.
And anyway, a few weeks later, I thought, Honey, you look huge. And she just got fatter and fatter. Then Sally started putting pictures up, and then the vets at Down said, she looks in foal. And then we decided we might do a test, but they decided that I had to know when she was covered to make the test really reliable. But I had no idea. She'd been with them for 4 years. Hello.
Yeah.
I have no idea. And so the old timers, because she was 20, or 20, no, she was 21, and they'd managed to have a child.
This is her
But I
first
didn't-
foal.
No, she'd had a
she'd
few
had
foals,
some
but she'd always had chestnuts and always had them on the
Okay.
forest with various forest stallions. She was
Yeah.
not a forest run pony. And then 2 days after Christmas last year, she delivered this most enormous black, we've never had a black one out of a
No.
replica of Elton bar. It's got a little, I call it thunderbolt thing in its head.
Like Harry Potter.
Yes, and it's a demon. I can't be honest, it's a demon. He was 2 days old. He started eating hard feed with her. I was terrified because you know what a winter we had.
Yeah.
So again, I spoke to Down and I said, I'm terrified. Alice, help me. What am I going to do? And she went, Mandy, it's a forest pony. I said, but I'm not born this time of year. What am I going to do with him? It's going to rain. It's going to be horrible. She said, it'll be fine. So
It was born with like a full-on thick coat.
I've never seen anything like it. I've seen hundreds of foals born. I've seen foals born out of time.
Yeah.
But he came out like a yak. And honestly, his coat's about that long. And it was all spirally, like curls. So you could like pull it out and it'd spring back in. Like a sort of afro hair. So he was like, he looked 4 times bigger than he was because of all this hair. So we got like 2 nights down the line from him being born, and we had the worst night's rain, and it was freezing cold. And I'd said to Pete, I want to get her in. He said, you can't put her in. She's never been in her life. She's going to stress out completely.
Yeah.
She'll hate it. She's always run the forest. She's been in the field. You were not putting that mare in a stable. So I got down there the next morning and she came cantering across the field and I couldn't see him. So now I'm crying like an idiot. He's gone, I'm going to kill Pete. We're going to see this, isn't he? And I climbed over the gate and started trying to run with my wodgy hip. And I thought, I can't see him. And I can hear, and I thought, what is that? And all the mares had come up through one field into the field next door. And he is parading up and down the fence line with his tail over his back, saying, I'm a stallion, baby. It's just a few days old. And I thought, oh no, oh my God. He's absolutely fine and was all winter, but has been a pickle.
So what's his name? I can't remember what you called him.
Zulu, Sally called him, which apparently means heaven and also means warrior. I think we know which one we got. It wasn't 5 minutes before he was eating hard food and he would throw himself in the bowl so that Mum couldn't eat it. So he'd lie in there and eat it and she couldn't get him out. She did lose her temper with him one day and sort of hoofed him out, so he was a bit peeved with that. So then he learnt to bite her ears to get her head up and stuff the food. And then a few weeks ago I decided that he was big enough to go in with the other mares. And terrified as I was, I opened the gates and let him through. And all the mares came galloping towards him. And Honey was calling to him to get behind her because she wanted to protect him. Because there was about 15 mares in there. We've got probably about 40 acres down there, so they're coming up the hill.
With their foals, or they don't?
No, they're all grown up because they hadn't had their foals because it's too early in the season. And I thought, oh, he'll run to Mum. No, he ran at the mares. He's going flat out down the hill towards the mares. The mares come galloping in and you can see them looking at each other like, oh God, what is that? So he's still coming with his tail up. And all the mares stopped dead and went, puffing and heaving. And he just looked and went, whatever. And they went after him, but he just had trotted around with his tail up. And they were like, oh, he's boring. He's not going to run. And he has been a nightmare with them.
That's it.
Yeah. Custard hates him. My little dun gelding that's in there hates him because he's only 2 years old and Custard torments him all day long. Custard absolutely hates the sight of him. He hides from him. He runs to the mares to protect him. Some of the mares realised that Honey was struggling with this child, that he couldn't do a thing with it. So Sassy, which is one of Sally's mares, said she decided, I took a good video, Sassy became the outfielder. She was just out from Honey. And every time he strayed off, she'd just look at him and he'd go back to Mum.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I watched it one day and I've got it on video and it's really interesting because he pushed it, he went back and then he came out again and he was walking towards Sassy and she glared at him and he didn't go and she just took one step back and he was like, I'm going. So it's really good. It's been fascinating to watch that interaction between them.
Yeah.
And yesterday was a naughty child because one of the mares is quite heavily pregnant and he decided he might try to jump on her and she was furious. And so she flew backwards at him. She didn't kick him.
No.
Very polite. She knew it was a foal. And he was a bit like, so she went to walk away. So he went to jump on her again and she just stopped and raised one leg and looked back and he was like, I'm gone. But it's wonderful watching that they've got that control, those mares.
So do you think you'll be able to keep him as a stallion or is he
No
a
way.
bit much?
No, Pete and I decided very soon that he was not stallion material.
No.
He's too feisty.
A bit too much.
Yeah, I think Elton's up there laughing his socks off, saying, look, my left arm.
Yes.
His Elton was always, great
you're
fun.
welcome.
It was very easy, Elton, very easy to deal with, but very cheeky at times.
Yeah.
But this is full on naughty.
So you'll keep him though?
Yeah, we'll keep him. I don't think it could bequeath him to anybody else.
No.
But people, they would never forgive me. He is fabulous, but I took some friends down to meet him today and he went up and bit one of them, so I was pretty annoyed with him. He just doesn't, he sadly hasn't had that other foal interaction. So normally he'd be playing with other foals and he'd be tired and, one would perhaps get the better of him. And I thought the 2-year-old little dun pony would sort him out, but he actually threw Custard on the floor. Well, he's built like a brick barn door. And so he just pushed Custard over and Custard now hates him, so he won't go near him.
Right.
So he's been a bit of a, but he's great fun. He is great
So who's
fun.
going to ride him then?
Not me.
No, I
I'll be
was
fine.
going to say, he'd be one for Gemma, is he?
She can have that one.
Yes, so I should say actually for the people watching, if you've watched a previous podcast with Sally Marsh or Sally Jolly, who is a wonderful author, that is Mandy's daughter.
It is.
It
It's
is.
my daughter. Very proud of her.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's amazing, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she is. She's done amazingly well.
Yeah.
And a great love and knowledge of the forest, and she loves the drifts. And
Yeah, and she's really growing her Facebook page.
yes, she is. She's done a lot of education via the
but yeah, I was going to
Facebook.
say for education, which is brilliant.
Yes, and it's, you know, I worked on the pony publicity group where we tried to educate people.
Yeah,
We realised that we needed to get a way to educate people, and Sally's done that even better than we ever could, because she can get to so many more people doing it on Facebook and so on, because it's no good just teaching the same people all the time.
No,
you need to get away. People, visitors are coming down all the time, and there's our problem. And also, people move into the area a lot. And I think that's been a big eye opener to us, that Sally's things have opened up to people that have live locally, but we've had an awful lot of people that have moved here that didn't even know there were drifts on.
Really?
Yeah, so they've been stunned. You know, absolutely stunned.
Yeah.
And I moved here from, well, I grew up in the north, and then we lived in Botley for quite a while, and then just happened to move here when we were looking all over the place. But when we moved here, we wouldn't have had a clue.
No.
And I'm quite, I'm horsey, but it's quite a unique.
It is. And terrifying if you get caught up in one, isn't it?
Yeah.
We all do our utmost to not get caught in a drift. I mean, I used to drift, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to get caught in a drift now.
No.
And it's the way
you can kind of avoid the formal drift with the dates, but Peggy and I were hacking the other day, and I don't know which register it was. It may not have even been one, but he was like, "Oh, we're just rounding up." They were just doing it informally. And we're like,
Well,
it's like you can ride with us, which we did attempt for a while, and then Peggy's horses are lunatic, so we had to.
We get a lot of people caught out, and we've got one lady that lives near to the farm that is terrified. You know, she's a very nervous rider.
Yeah.
And she unfortunately went out with her sister-in-law for a ride on the forest and came back and absolutely lambasted me like it was my fault.
Oh God!
You know, that dreadful Agister. He chased the pony straight past us, and I said, "It's a working forest. He has a job to do.
Yeah.
If he's driving a herd of ponies, he can't just say, 'Hang on, girls.'"
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not a theme park.
Let these people pass.
Yeah, let these people pass. And so sadly, they both fell off. I mean, he did check. The Agister did check that they were okay. And carried on, but they have a job to do. And you know, if you've got a mare out there that's injured, or a pony out there that's injured, or one that's poor, you've got to get that in. That is their job, and we can't stop for every rider. You'd never get done.
No.
And I mean, it is quite amusing sometimes that you see people. I do remember that
diving in the next hedge to get.
Well, they went for a bit of a. They were on a big drift at Wilverley, and one of the local riding schools was out.
Oh dear!
And they were all dressed as cowboys.
Oh.
And they inadvertently got caught in the drift, and they actually put them into the pen.
Oh.
Because they couldn't stop. So all these people with looking like cowboys were rounded up into the crowd.
That would have made a great photo.
Apparently their riding was quite spectacular. Hanging on.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
So Sally's done really well with that, hasn't she?
Yes.
But I have to say recently, because there's you see a lot of people out on the forest who've never been trying to feed these ponies and not realising why they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I was listening to another podcast the other day, actually. It's called Talk Horse with Pippa Funnell and Tristan Phipps, which is quite an unlikely couple, because Tristan Phipps is from Made in Chelsea.
Oh, right.
But he loves horses, has played a little bit of polo, and but he's also a qualified safari guide. So he's done, out in Africa. So, very animal sort of like driven. And he said, "Oh, I was in the New Forest recently, and he said, but I got injured by one of the ponies." And he outwardly said, "He said I made a really silly mistake, because I went and I fed this. I went and tickled this pony under the chin, and he was quite happy. And then all of a sudden, he bit me." And then he said, I didn't realise there's loads of signs out saying, please do not feed or touch the ponies. So if you're ever going to the New Forest,
that's good.
Please look at the signs and don't feed.
It is a challenge, and we spend a lot of our life asking people not to feed the ponies. Some people are very good when you explain why they shouldn't. Some people will have a bit of an argument and then get over it
Yeah.
and understand. And there are some people that just think it's their God-given right.
Mm.
And that's
So-
the ones that's difficult.
Yeah.
You know, because I've had people, you know, they'll shout at you, throw the carrots at you and say it's just a carrot. Ponies eat carrots, don't they? And I said, well, yes, ponies do eat carrots,
Yeah.
but these are wild ponies, and if they choke on them, we can't get a vet to them quickly enough to save them, and they will
Right.
die.
And that's the primary, for people watching this, if you've
Yeah.
not been to the New Forest, that's the primary reason.
Yeah, we don't, well, no, the
Draws them
primary
towards the
reason
roads
is that
as
it
well,
encourages them to
doesn't
come
it?
to the road. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they see a car, they think cars mean food.
Yeah.
So then the ponies get on the road and they get run over. And also feeding them, if you keep feeding a pony, and once one person does it, you'll get lots of people doing it.
Yeah.
So then the ponies don't go off and graze, so they start to become poor, because they start hanging around the car parks,
Right. Yeah.
waiting for handouts,
Mm.
and don't go off and graze. So
Yeah.
that's another reason. And of course, then the other thing is that they're feeding them unsuitable things.
Yeah.
And carrots, of course, we all feed our horses carrots, but most of us know to slice them up really thinly
Yeah.
and to feed them. And we don't want people to feed them anything at all. And of course, then there's the risk to the public of getting
Yeah.
kicked or bitten when
Yeah.
the food runs out.
I was driving back from Fording Bridge last summer on the, you know, those, we had a few really, really hot days.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was one little bunch of trees with a herd of ponies with foals
Mm.
in the shade. And a lady stopped, went over to take some photos, and these poor ponies then wandered off into the road,
Yeah.
into the sun.
They don't realise they're chasing them
And
off,
like,
do they?
they were just
They were
completely
Mm.
peaceful in the
Mm.
shade and
Mm.
fine, and now they're
Yeah.
in the middle of the road
I
in the
know.
baking hot heat.
And I know it's very tempting for people, and you know, but I've actually seen people sit their children on ponies to take a photograph. That's the honest truth.
Oh, good Lord.
They will sit their children on the ponies and then step back, take a photograph.
Oh my goodness.
There have been children taken to casualty with head injuries and all
Mm.
sorts from that sort of behaviour.
Wow.
Very sadly. Very sadly.
Wow.
Well, actually, when I don't know whether I was there, and I know the story because Neil's told me it enough times. But when our two little boys were young, they went to Bolton's Bench for a picnic.
Yeah.
They weren't feeding the ponies,
Mhm.
but all of a sudden, a pony that obviously knew for food
Yes.
was right over
Yeah.
my boys having their picnic,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you know,
It's just learned
You-
behaviour, isn't it?
yeah. But
Mm.
actually,
And
those ponies have become
Yeah.
dangerous to people
yeah, of course.
through people's actions.
Yeah.
And
feeding
then
them.
when they become dangerous to people, we have to remove them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sad to say that some of them are sent on, you know,
Yeah.
put down because
Yeah.
they're not any use anymore because we've made a vicious
Mm.
animal. So
Yeah.
those people have caused that.
Yeah.
Not the makeup of the pony, but people have
Mm.
caused that by, you know, if any of us, if we gave treats to our ponies all day long,
Mm.
they'd become aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would give treats to their
I
ponies
don't
all day long?
know. You
Oh my god. Yeah.
I'm very anti-treat, aren't
I
I?
know. I love treats when I first have a horse and you
You need to,
know
when you
you
need
win
them.
them
They're
over,
fine
you
in the
feed
right time,
them
in the right
for
place.
training, but
Yeah.
yeah, I need to
Mm.
not give so many
Treat
treats.
lady.
I know.
I think they're fine with the right horse and the right training, but
Yeah.
for forest ponies, no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Forest run
Yeah.
ponies, forest
Mhm.
run ponies, we should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, they've done
Yeah.
something well.
I
And
mean, it is getting harder in the forest. It is getting much harder. Like even the drifts are quite hard at times
yeah.
because we get a lot of people coming out to photograph.
Yeah.
And I can remember 2 years ago, one particular drift, we had a big group of ponies coming in, and as they brought them around the corner, they turned into the driftway, and there was a line of photographers right the way across.
Oh,
Flash, 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 flash. Couldn't stop the colts; they were gone.
God.
And I remember one of the people coming back
Mm.
off the drift, one of the well-known people, absolutely furious, and said, "We
Mm.
can't do our job anymore.
No.
They're
No.
getting to know where the drifts are. They're coming out to get the action shots, and we just can't work. It's not that we
Yeah.
don't want people to see. It's lovely
Yeah.
sight to see,
Yeah.
but you know, if you're going to stand in front of them on the way to the pound,
Mm.
we're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in
Absolutely.
trouble. But on a
Mm.
lighter note, I did have a very funny to do at a
Did you
drift.
now?
I did. I was a complete fool.
Oh.
Again, I was working for the publicity group, and we had a group of 6 people from, I think they were from Denmark,
Mm.
and they said to me, well, I got to the drift and I was ordered by the Adjuster, right, those 6, he wasn't in the great humour.
Mm.
There's 6 foreigners over there. Can you go and deal with them? Get them out of the way, take them to somewhere safe, keep them out of my way. I do not want people all over the place today.
Mm.
Yes, I will do that. I'll be absolutely. Don't you make sure you're in the right place. I'll make sure I'm in the right place. So I went over and there was a group of people there, and I was like, "Good morning," and they were like, "Oh, hi." So I was like, "Would you like?" I don't know why, but Sally and I are both as bad as one another. We turn into sort of pidgin, whatever language we think it is. So I'm saying, "If you'd like to come this way, comes with me." And I've got a friend down from Yorkshire, and she's with me, and I can hear her tittering. I'm thinking, "Shut up, Anne-Marie, I can't help this. This is how it is." So I gathered these people up, and there was 8 of them. So I thought, "Oh, I've got the wrong amount. I'll just take them over." So I found this lovely spot where they could take photographs, I could explain what was happening.
Yeah.
I spent the entire morning going, "The ponies will be coming from this way." I went on and on. These 2 ladies were like, "Yeah." So I thought, this is not going bad. They're obviously understanding everything I'm saying. The others had kind of wandered off doing their photos and then where they were allowed. But these 2 were very good at, staying with me and I explaining everything in my pidgin English and lots of gesturing. And so we got just past the last drive-in, and I said to the lady, "Where do you come from?" And she went, "Coventry." I spent the entire morning doing sign language, ridiculous speak.
That's what these New Forest folk are like.
These commoners are really quite odd. I couldn't believe it. And as I stood there, going red as a beetroot, I noticed my friend is crawling through the heather because she can't walk. She's laughing so much because I've spent the whole ruddy morning being a complete pillock. So if you were one of those, I'm really sorry. She never said a word about the fact that she could have said, anything like that.
She's probably just really enjoying the whole.
Look at this, they even do charades.
Yeah.
They have their own sign language in the New Forest. This is how they communicate.
I'm such an idiot in all my life. And then they said, "How did it go?" I was like, "Yeah, fine." Well done for keeping my way. No, not a problem. Just an idiot.
Oh, brilliant. So, yeah, lovely Sally's your daughter, and then you've got Gemma, who is your granddaughter, who is just as horsey as you are.
She is.
And
Horses and rugby, I might add.
Rugby as well.
She's rugby mad.
Is she?
She has so many injuries at the rugby, I can't tell you. The other day she had her lip split. Smashed all her lips, she was pouring blood. This week she was carried off with her knee injured.
Oh, God.
Every week she goes, "I said to her,
herself
we'd better
for
with riding." But yeah, she loves it.
Yeah.
Very keen. She goes out to Germany every year and trains out there.
Yeah, she does really well out there, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's done really well.
Yeah.
She's with Claudia Klautznitzter. I probably pronounced that completely wrong.
Do you want to do it in an accent?
Yeah, Klautznitzter. And God bless her, she came over to buy some ponies. She wanted to buy Elton. She tried and tried and tried to buy Elton, and I kept saying no.
Yeah.
And then she
So
came
she
back.
wants Sulu.
She might want to, though. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And she's now become a very good friend. In fact, she calls me her twin. And so she comes over every year, and we go for a ride, and we do stuff together, and she's great fun.
Yeah.
And she's a judge in Germany.
Yeah.
And she was also style jumping champion, supreme champion of Germany for several years.
Yeah.
She isn't anymore. She's like me, my age, and we tootle about now and school up. When people's horses are, "All right, give it to me." We're both the same.
Yeah, so I know that they really think the world of Gemma, don't they?
Love it. Yeah, she's going out again this year.
Is she? Yeah, every summer she goes.
She's going to go. She's going to not go for the breed show this year.
Right, okay.
Because I've said I'll murder her if she goes for the breed show. We need her to
Oh.
run ponies and ride ponies for us. So she's going to go. I think she's going in June. I think she's going in June for a few weeks.
And is it just training she does like that, or does she compete?
She competes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's done some compete. She won. They have to pass a test to ride in Germany. You can't just
I was going to
ride.
say to you, I'm sure she got her certificate.
She had to do that was very nerve wracking for her,
Mm.
because they had to do a flat work test and a jumping test. And she can't stand a word they were saying. So she has since learned quite a bit of German.
Has she?
Yeah, because they were instructing her what to do when they allowed Claudia to translate, but it wasn't easy because you're getting quite delayed. But she did really well and passed very well.
Yeah.
But I think that's a really good idea. That
What-
people have to pass an exam before you can compete in
Germany's
Germany.
not the only country that does it either, is it?
And you have to complete something to be able to own a horse too, which is quite sensible.
I think quite a few countries on the continent do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's difficult to know where it might go though, because I really agree with you that it's good to have some sort of license, but then on the flip side, all the riding schools are having to close.
Yes, the riding
So
schools.
how would anyone learn to ride?
Well,
This
this is the
you'd
problem. Not
have to
having riding schools is a problem.
Yeah.
And it's because of the insurance, isn't it? And, and the regulations. And
Yeah.
you can't do this and you can't do
Yeah.
that. And health
You
and
can't
safety
take
gone
70
crazy,
people
in
out
my
once.
opinion. But then,
Yeah.
on riding ponies
Yes.
anymore.
yeah, and no riding bareback.
Yeah.
Which is how you learned to ride, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that I mean, we've got ponies pretty much all over the world.
Yeah.
They're in Belgium, Holland, France, Germany, of course, and there's one in Israel. There's a mare in Israel breeding, which scared me to death when the war started.
Yeah.
We were talking, we speak all the time, and she said, no, we're absolutely fine. She's way away, but they had a few problems with the drones.
Right.
The drones are very noisy and they come over very low, and the ponies were panicking. But she worked out that she made their feed time, because the drones tend to come over ridiculously much the same time. So she feeds the horses, and they know that if they hear a drone, run to the barn and there's food.
Yeah.
So she's worked that out, but that was a very scary time for them and for me worrying about the horses.
Goodness.
So yeah, it's been a big adventure.
Wow.
I tell you.
So so Gemma, she's got. I know not rescued actually. You bought some ponies, didn't you?
We bought some ponies. We bought. I went to Dilton Farm and bought a lovely coloured cross warm blood.
Yeah.
And he trotted up the barn. It was 22 in the barn, and he trotted up, and I just thought that one.
Yeah.
And I bought him, and then Gemma bought him off of me.
Yeah.
And she's doing really well with. He was called William, and we already had a William, so she called him Dilliam.
Yes.
It's from Dilton. They have some lovely ponies, and he's doing really well.
Yeah. He's about 16.
He's about 16.2, 16.3.
Yeah.
I got on and got off again because I couldn't get off. I was very stuck with my wonky hip. And then she's got little William that she learnt to ride on, which was by Elton and has been a challenge. She broke him in by herself in the yard, just playing around, and he's been a terrific pony. He's won everything he can win for her, I think, and he's a head case, but she loves him dearly. And then she bred the first ever pony that she bred for her own. She's got our prefix. She bred this pony, Hayward's Above and Beyond, and she sold him. He went to the breed show and he was foal champion. Yeah, her first foal. How envious were we? And she got foal champion, and she sold him. Yeah, and regretted it ever since. But she was only a little toddler then. Yeah, when she was probably about 8. And she sold him, and she's always wanted him back. Yeah, and the lady wouldn't sell him back. And then suddenly this lady messaged her and said, I can't cope with him, he's too much for me. And so Gemma had a pony that wasn't enough for her. Yeah, so they did a swap. And my husband drove them up and swapped them over in a motorway services.
That's indeed.
With my vehicle somewhere like that. And we brought Ace back, and he's doing fantastically.
Yeah, I keep seeing her posts. She's doing really well with him.
And to have one of her own that she bred with our prefix has been lovely.
He's got quite a pop of a jump on him.
He's got a heck of a jump. Yes, he has. Yeah, he's a real good little pony, but apparently kept bucking the girl off. But Gemma, we brought him back on the Saturday. She took him to cross country on the Sunday. Yeah. And it was like a time bomb when she got him out of the trailer. And I'm like, Gemma, are you sure about this? So she took him out into the cross country. It was a competition at Italy. And she said, no, you're going. So she just channeled his energy into going rather than the lady, every time he bucked, she got off. Yeah. So he kind of learnt that that's what he could do. So she was very brave. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember being that brave, but she just said, no, get on. And she took him round, did really well, and he's going all right now. He's given up with the bucking. Yeah. And she did change his saddle. That did help. Yeah. Yeah, he's a cracking little pony.
Yeah, nice.
Little chap.
I follow her a lot.
Yeah,
so she's,
because we don't get hung up on the height too much. No. Because I had one that was barely 13 hands, and so we don't worry about the small ones. We know that they can compete on an even. Obviously, if you go massive jumping, you're going to need something a bit bigger. Yeah. And you've got to watch the weight. Well, there's nothing off Gemma, is there? I mean, I think she was
sometimes hard to know where to put your legs. And you can get a bit tall above them sometimes, can't you?
Yeah. Luckily, and Gemma says this very willingly, she says, luckily I'm quite short. She doesn't look it, but I'm proud to say that she has to put my stirrups up 2 holes. Oh, wow. My legs are longer than Gemma's.
She looks taller, doesn't she?
She does. No, she comes about here on me.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's delighted.
Yeah.
You know, and all her friends are really tall and they can't ride the ponies anymore. And
Yeah.
she still
can.
rides William times.
No, she is a lovely rider.
Yes, I'm very
she
proud
really
of her.
is.
In fact, we went to a jumping thing the other evening and the guy came and shook my hand and said, "You've done a good job."
And David
so
Thomas.
proud. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was,
Yeah.
she was really good for him
Yeah.
because he had a bit of an awkward lesson. Some of the ponies were, there were donkeys outside the school and all the other ponies froze solid and refused to move in any direction. And Jem had to take them round one at a time, following Ace, because I don't know, ponies don't seem to like donkeys, do they?
No. Mine are okay with him because they.
I'm really
donkeys.
thrilled with Victor because he doesn't mind. I took him down, didn't I, to do that thing with you. And then my friend Leslie borrowed him the other day and she rode him for the first time down at Bridge Farm and the donkeys started that wretched braying and it's kind of like a chorus and once one goes the others go and he went, "Oh," and then he went, "Oh, it's a donkey." I was so relieved because I've got a lot of friends that can't use that school at all because they can't get them.
Do you remember a donkey called Ramby?
Oh yes, do I?
Talking about the braying. Do you know this donkey? No, he was renowned around this area and used to be out on the commons. He'd chase everything, wouldn't he?
He would, yeah.
But I could hear him braying from here at night.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not that far, but it's a mile or
Yeah.
so.
So noisy.
Was it a stallion donkey?
Yeah.
No, I suppose he was, wasn't he? He was renowned.
Yeah. He's like trying to leg it the opposite direction if he was around.
Did you know that they're all DNA'd now to tell if they create mules?
Oh, I didn't know that.
They are.
Are
So
they?
all the donkeys now are.
I've got no idea how donkey breeding works.
So if they get with a horse, you get a mule.
Right.
So if they get a mule on the forest now, it's DNA'd. If it's that donkey gets 2 goes, if it gets more than 2 mules, he's off.
Really?
It's like the
So
Jeremy
they're not
Kyle
made
show of donkeys.
to be gelded, if that's the word for donkeys.
No,
don't
they're
just-
out there to cover the donkeys, but some of them get a bit amorous
okay.
with the mares. But if they've done that now, they're off.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic that there's DNA.
Yeah.
So there's a DNA search done if a mule turns up, and if it's that donkey, it's
Naughty
goodbye.
donkey.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Jeremy Kyle of donkeys.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it is. I think it's fabulous.
Brilliant.
But I know a lot of people get chased by donkey stallions. And they're quite protective.
Mm.
So, what you're riding? I know you're waiting for your op, aren't you? On your hip and what have you.
Replacement,
But
hopefully.
you've got lovely Victor.
I've got Victor. I've got Chutney, who's an absolute dream.
Yes.
And are these ones you've bred, presumably?
Chutney wasn't bred. He's a grandson of Elton's, but
Right.
he was bred by Connor Richards. So he's a rich acre pony. Connor's my good friend that breeds ponies and's got a Hayward stallion. And a lady from the Isle of Wight phoned me and asked me if I'd have Chutney. So I bought Chutney off of her because she just couldn't get on with him.
Right.
And I've had him, didn't really think about his age, and he became my work pony. So when I'm training youngsters, I like to ride and lead.
Yeah.
So Chutney became ride and lead pony, and he rides out people, and the kids rode him, and anybody that was nervous rode him. And he's turned into a fantastic pony. And then I discovered that he's only 8, so now, so he's been working quite hard for a while.
Bless him.
For about 3 years, you know.
Yeah.
But he knows his job inside out, and he's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Just brilliant. You know, we had a little girl the other day that had lost confidence in her pony because it kept bucking her off. And I said, "Oh, go and have a go on Chutney." And he was divine with her. I mean, he just seems to know. And he walked and trotted and cantered exactly where she told him when told, and they don't want to get off him, does she? Don't want the other one back again. But no, he's a good little egg. And Victor is just proving to be very calm, which is good, really, because, you know, stupid me getting on a 5-year-old with a wonky hip.
And what's his breeding then, Victor?
That's by Elton.
Yeah.
Out of one of our
He
very
is
lovely mares, Molly.
beautiful. And we did that day, didn't we? The long reining.
Yeah, he was so
session.
good, wasn't he? I
Oh, he
never
really
taken him
was.
to it. And I took, and everybody long reined him,
Yeah,
didn't they? And
yeah.
everybody was so
We went
stunned.
through I took him through the labyrinth.
Yeah.
Mandy goes, always the beauty one that always. I think it was the first time.
Yeah, you did.
He
You
just
were kind
went-
of the guinea pig, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
It's like,
just he's
knew
very
where-
trainable.
Knew where his feet
And,
were at all times. And,
Yeah, and the first thing I ever teach any of my ponies is to park, as you know.
yeah.
I can't stand horses to wriggle around. I like them to, if I want to get on, they've got to stand still. If I'm getting off the mountain block, not from the ground anymore, but from the mountain block. And also, when I go to a show, I'm not one of those people that's got a pony dragging it around here, there and everywhere. So we just learn to park.
Yeah.
And they're rewarded for parking, and they park.
Yeah.
So I can park Chutney and Victor, and I don't carry my saddle anywhere because it hurts to carry it with this hip. So I take them to the car, they park, I take my saddle off, put the cover on, I put
Yeah.
it in the car, they don't move. And that's how we do it. And
Yeah.
that's what they were like that day.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
couldn't believe it. And
Yeah.
so I showed a lot of people how to park, and I've had a hell of a lot of feedback over that.
It's not the same because Vicky was talking about the ground tying.
Yeah, no.
Oh no,
That's
no,
a bit different.
no, I don't time at all. They
but
just
to the same sort of
yeah.
effect.
No, I just
they
say
know.
stand,
Yeah.
and I call it paint on feet. And so if they, I imagine they've got paint on their feet, and I don't want it walked around the floor.
Yeah.
So as soon as they move, I go move back. So I put them back exactly to where they were.
Actually, which is what she does. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just with the rope
But I just
dangling.
don't. I just put my hand up and say, well, stand or whatever
Yeah.
you're going to use, and they just stay there, and gradually move further and further away.
Mm.
And but a lot of the girls got hold of me, and one of them in particular, I tried it when I got home. I can't believe it. The babies are staying there because I don't like horses all over you.
You know.
I think you need that.
Yeah.
You know, see people getting pushed and shoved, and also I think I watch it shows people leaning on their horse all day long, and I think, poor horse, get off, sport self. So I park my ponies and I leave them.
Yeah.
And of course I had dear Alleluia, who I adored.
Yeah.
She was bred by Elton and to a very good friend of mine. And she had the foal, was absolutely delighted. She had a black filly, but Alleluia turned into a monster because she loved her rather too much. She won't mind me saying. She loved her too much. And she was very spoiled, and she was still with her mum when she was 6 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So they were ruling the field. Mum was head of the field, and then Ali became ruler of the field. So I got a call saying, would you have her? And I said, what's wrong? And she said, well, it's you or the kennels. I can't cope with that anymore. She's a nightmare. She's a disaster. She bites, she kicks, she strikes out. I can't do anything with her. So Pete and I went over to have a look at her. And she was stood tied up, growling. Good come near me.
Yeah.
So I went up, made a fuss. She's going, don't go near her, don't go near her. So I just went, stop it, get off, you know. And she was like, oh, okay. So nobody had ever said no.
Yeah.
Nobody ever said you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll have her. And she said, you can just have it. I said, no, I'll pay you £1. I want to pay for it. So she was my pound pony. So I paid £1 for her. And she said, how are you going to get her home? I said, I've got the trailer. She said, she won't go in that. Of course she'll go in that. I said, that'd be funny, but this pony's shod. What? How do you get her shod if you can't get near it? Oh, she's fine with a farrier. So I thought, that's a bit odd. So I said, she's broken in. Oh yeah, she was broken in. The lady took her off and broke her in. She was right with that. Yeah, fine. It's the woman.
Yeah.
They just didn't get on.
No.
They hated each other in the end.
Yeah.
And so I took her home, and this is a bad word, but she was full of piss and importance. She was like, I'm in charge, and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I put her down with the broodmares for 2 weeks. And she
sort
went in there going, I'm here. And they went, no, in the corner.
Yeah.
And they were very horrible to her for 2 weeks. Then I went and collected her, took her home, and I went to put the tack on her, and she attacked me. She came at me with her teeth and her front feet.
Yeah.
So I left her tied up, went and sat and had a cup of tea, went back, tried again. She tried it again, went back and had another cup of tea, went back a third time and said, are we going to do this or what? And she was a bit like, you're not going to give up. So I'd kind of given her time to think about it. So I put the tack on, got on her, and she refused to move in any direction. So Connor helped me.
Yeah.
We sort of dragged her out the yard, got out to the forest. She reared up vertical. I slapped her. And the rest was history. She never, ever did a thing wrong.
Yeah.
She never bucked. She never reared. She never went for me ever again.
No.
She was a madam.
Yeah.
But I loved that horse beyond loved it.
Yeah.
I'd finished with my competing by then. I was literally forest riding and, you know, going out looking for ponies and things. And she was superb. She was part thoroughbred. If I needed to move in a hurry, she was like lightning, but you only had to sit up and she stopped dead.
Yeah.
She was incredible.
Yeah.
I used to call her my wheelchair because I could go anywhere, take her to a show, she'd park up all day long. She'd take the kids all day long.
Yeah.
You know, they jump, she could jump for England. She was superb.
She just needed that.
She needed that. No.
Yeah.
She was so shocked when I said no, she couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Whereas they'd just gone, oh no, don't do that with her, she won't do this with her. But the lady did come over and once I'd had her, and she said, I can't believe you're doing those things. And I showed it, and she said, my dream was always to be able to groom her.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you could groom her. She wouldn't let her.
Oh, really?
No,
She
wouldn't have none of it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have any of it at all.
Yeah.
And she liked who she liked.
Yeah.
She hated Connor with a passion. Hated Connor with a passion. And she hated Sally with a passion. But she, within 5 minutes of meeting her, she either loved you or she hated you.
Yeah.
And that was how she was.
Yeah.
And I just accepted her for who she was.
Yeah.
thankfully she loved me.
Yeah.
And I adored her.
Oh.
So I've been very lucky at getting
Yeah.
the right pony
Mm.
time in my life.
So do you think you'd like to do a bit of competing with Victor? Get back to doing some dressage?
It all depends if I can get this hip done,
Yeah.
Mm.
because I can't ride. I can just about manage an hour's ride at the moment, and
Because
it
maybe
kills
it
me.
would be quite nice to see
I
the
would
dynamic
love-
duo out again.
Yeah, with Dawn and I would love to do the pairs again,
Yeah.
Mm.
but it's just whether they get my hip done in time. They're talking about a 2-year waiting list,
Oh,
Mm.
God.
and the pain is horrific.
Yeah.
And so if I wait 2 years, I'll then be 67, ladies. It's going to be a bit of a push.
Mm.
So I'm thinking, please
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah.
So they are saying I can have it done for 20 grand. That's not happening. 20 grand I've hit.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to wait for the dear old NHS and see what happens.
Perhaps we ought to sign a petition to get Mandy out competing again. What do
Well,
you
I've
think?
seen GoFundMes for less
Yes.
worthy causes.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
people do that. I couldn't bear to do that.
Oh,
No.
Sally did it for a brilliant cause.
She
Well,
did
that
it.
was a
That
good
was
cause,
Yeah.
but there
brilliant
are some
cause
real
because that
ones
family.
that you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really needed
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Because they didn't know they were going to have the house adapted. He had to stop
Mm.
work.
yeah.
You know, that was. I mean, thank God she's okay.
Yeah.
She's doing
Mm.
good. She's
Yeah,
home
she
at
is.
weekends now. She's back
Yeah.
at school.
Yeah, yeah,
Still on rehab, but she's doing really well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm absolutely thrilled.
No, it's,
Just can't tell you how we all held our breath for that.
Oh, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
bit terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
No chance in a million. We've done it for 100 years and never had an accident like that.
I know. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. How we haven't done this, I don't know, to be
I
honest.
know. The
It's
trouble is,
fair- Have you ever done it?
I've never done it, but my children have done it.
Yeah. I don't know which is worse. I think it's worse watching the
Mm.
children do it.
mm,
Mine haven't done it yet.
yeah.
Gemma's
So,
desperate to do
so
it.
we're talking
Mm.
about the point to point, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I've done it.
Have
Mm.
you?
Did it on Smile of the Stallion. Wasn't fast enough, but it was a damn good ride. It was
I
fun.
don't know. It's not. I mean, it's great to win, isn't it? But I
It's
always
great
say
to win.
it's one of the things that just to do it,
Finish.
Yeah.
Just to
it's
finish.
just
Yeah.
We did
amazing.
discuss on the centenary just entering and like walking and trotting in because you've got a tanker to say that you've done it.
Oh, really?
So to be really naughty, just hack across.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
I did
no,
enter it one year, and I trained my pony up,
Mm.
my pony called Freddie, and then we went to Wales for Christmas, and I think it was the day after Boxing Day that year because it must have been a Sunday or
probably had
whatever.
some-
So,
yeah.
but we were driving home, and he lost his shoe.
Oh my God, that happens so much.
I can't do it now. And then, but actually, it was really, really icy and frozen that morning. So
Yeah.
I just think it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the other problem with point to point is the amount of time you have to put into
Yeah.
getting fit.
Yeah.
And what a time of year!
Mm,
It's
Yeah.
pitch dark by 4 o'clock.
Oh, honestly.
You're trying to ride out.
mm,
You know, if you're working, you're absolutely scuppered.
yeah.
You know, I fair go to some of these kids I see training.
I know.
Well, they
And
do
they're
it
out
with
in
their
the
head
pitch dark,
torches
yeah,
and-
the head torch and the lashing rain.
I think I
and,
said before, little Millie Long out.
Oh, yeah,
and
she's
she's
Yeah.
sort of keeps her horses round
Yeah.
the corner from us on the road.
yeah,
She had that many lights on her, and
Yeah.
you know, like
and the total.
fluorescent stuff.
Yeah.
It was like
It's
looking
amazing,
at-
and the total ruined
fireworks.
Christmas for everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
Because as soon as you know on
Yeah.
Christmas Day where the start is,
Yeah,
that's they're all out there
yeah,
Yeah.
walking
of course.
trying to find where it is. So
Mm.
Christmas Day is a non-event, and I know a lot of the riders. I do the measuring of
Yeah,
the horses, and they say, it'd be nice to go home and have a meal because
Mm,
we
yeah,
felt
so-
sick. We haven't had to eat for a week.
I know. I
It's
just
a
worry
real-
about the terrain. I think, oh God, I couldn't bear
I
it.
know.
Just stumbling around and
Have you seen the video of the Race of the Rough Riders?
no,
Okay, so Richard Pittman,
right?
he won the national.
Yeah,
A jockey, obviously.
yeah,
He came down to find out about drifting and about the race of the Rough Riders, which we
Yeah.
call the drift,
yeah,
and thought it would be rather fun to enter. So they said at the time, we don't do it anymore, but you used to have to qualify by going on drifts or hunting
yeah.
to make sure you're an accomplished enough rider. So he and some film crew came down, and some of them rode, and they were given decent ponies to ride. They were
Yeah.
a bit puffed about riding Forest Pony, but they very soon changed their minds when
Yeah.
they were galloping after horses over rough terrain.
Yes.
And so they did the drift. And I remember them coming back into Setley, and they're like, "You're all mad. You're all completely loco." It's the most terrifying thing I've ever done.
So is that something we can watch then?
Yes, you can buy a video. It wasn't. I think it's in DVD form
I
now.
wonder if it's
And
on
you can-
YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
it
called
is,
The
yeah.
Race of the Rough Riders.
Race of the right.
And so they did the drifting, and then they went on a point to point.
Oh,
And they were like, you are completely crackers.
bonkers.
And they said, well, we said, you race. And they said, yeah, we know the ground is really good
Yeah.
Yeah.
because, it's tested, it's done specifically for us. We
Yeah.
know where we're going. You
Yeah.
crazy idiots don't know where you're going, what the ground's like. He said, I've been over ground I wouldn't have walked over.
Yeah.
He came and he said, never again.
No.
Never again. He said, the Grand National was a walk in the park. It was fantastic. It was such good fun.
Oh, wow.
Such good fun.
That's, I'm going to have to watch that then.
Yeah.
Look out for the Race of the Rough Riders.
Oh, dear.
Terrific video.
So, moving on, do we have a product of the week, or are we going to...
Well, yes, I had it's more of a sort of leads on to a bit of a topic that might be interesting with Mandy and her knowledge. So I at the end of last summer, bought a weighbridge.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Triggered by the haylage panic that
Oh, yeah.
I think it was August time. I was absolutely beside myself because there are 10, 12 horses here, and I just suddenly thought, I think we'd bought all the haylage in that I normally buy, and I just happened to decide I was going to count the bales.
Oh.
And because there'd been no grass all summer, we'd already used, I don't know, 20% of the... So I was doing graphs, and it's all going to run out in February. What am I going to do? We're not going to be able to get any because, of course, by then everyone was panicking. Anyway, I put in various measures, like they weren't allowed haylage out in the summer fields. We had to have forage replacers, and I was going out at lunchtime and giving all the horses buckets. Anyway, I also bought a weighbridge, which actually has really helped because I have never weighed my hay nets ever.
No.
I've just fed by eye. To me, I can look at the horses and they look okay, or they look a bit fat.
Yeah, me too. And the same with the hay. I go.
Yeah. So I just they get what they get, and they
It's quite surprising, isn't it?
Yeah. So anyway, I thought we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to put for the liveries. We're gonna have rations. So we weighed all the horses because then we also then said, well, that one's a bit over what it should be. That one's a bit under. And did the rations to try, and they had a target weight. So, and then we weigh in Wednesday now. Every Wednesday, I weigh all of mine and any of the deliveries.
It's handy for worming and that as well.
Oh my goodness, it's been amazing actually.
Yeah.
And quite surprising that you won't think you've done anything different, but maybe it's rained a bit more, and actually all the horses will have gone up a bit, or they'll all have come down a bit. Yeah. And some it's really hard to get them to lose anyway. Others it's hard to get them to put on anyway. Anyway, it's an amazing thing, and I do offer it the services if anyone wants to weigh their horses. Some of the people who come for lessons will weigh, and
that's good.
We did the camp and people
good.
weighed their horses. And actually it is really good because weigh tape's okay, isn't it? But it's not very
we do get the old owner going, no, it's only this.
Yeah.
It's only this. Squeezing them in like squeezing into a belt. You're like, nah.
So it's quite
that's
good
not right.
to have weighed them.
Yes, it is.
And done the rations, and it because I could weigh them and do the rations, actually all my liveries were then amazing, and we at that point had been going through 5 big haylage bales a week and went down to under 3 a week because we weighed and measured and
so it shows how much it's easy to overfeed.
Oh my goodness. And actually we've now got a bit obsessed, count the haylage every Wednesday, weigh the horses every Wednesday, graphs of everyone's weight and the haylage. And actually I'm probably going to end with loads of haylage left over, which is great.
But
anyway,
it's a big problem,
the weighbridge is very, very good.
Yes, is being overfed.
Yes,
it's such a big problem.
Yes. We had a judges seminar the other day with the pony breeders, and they asked me to take Polaris down to there's a Forest Run stallion. He's over on the stallion grazing, so I have no control over him over there. And they have a lot of grass, and they asked me if I could bring him to the seminar so they could have, because he's won the championship 3 years in a row. And so we went and collected him, and I went, oh my God, he's huge. This is going to be really embarrassing.
Right.
So we got over there, and Louisa from Seadown was giving a talk to the judges on obesity, and I said, I'm not getting him out. Which Louisa thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
I said, he can't be that bad. She went, oh God. And it was quite funny because they were able to explain that he, though he's a stallion, he should have a crest, he shouldn't have that much of a crest, he shouldn't have fat pads on the bottom. And I said, but they did explain to everybody that, I pick him up because I have no control over his weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get we're going to try to get them to weigh all the stallions, but I don't think it's probably going to work. But we're going to ask them
Yeah.
because it would be interesting to see what they weighed before they were out.
Yeah.
And what they weigh when they come in.
Yeah.
They look fantastic.
Yeah,
They're
really
do.
toned. They're not fat anymore. They're
Yeah.
looking muscled and slim and lovely. And you know, I get mine in earlier, so I've got some weight off him before he goes careering around the forest, which wouldn't do him the world of good.
No.
But yeah. So you've done a good job of training yours to get on the weighbridge, because I've seen a few
they're all
that won't get on
fine.
there.
Even the one that I've got one that is so suspicious of everything.
Yeah.
But he's
fine now.
Goes on the weighbridge, it's fine.
Yeah.
But we weighed them all today because they've all now moved on to their summer grazing, and actually it becomes quite interesting to see. Okay, they've gone on to that. What's the weight going to do? And interesting to manage
also,
it.
too, what I found very interesting. Have you noticed that when we get a lot of frost, that the weight goes up because this grass is so sugary?
I don't know, because we have very little grass.
Okay, yeah, we've got those massive fields.
Yeah.
So we have to watch ours like a hawk.
Yes.
But we noticed that whenever we have a lot of frost, then the ponies absolutely pile it on.
I'll have to look next year. So
it'd be just really interesting to be able to use a weighbridge that much.
My husband's very good at graphs, so we can probably put the air temperature against the weights and things like that, which would be really fascinating.
Because it's quite incredible, and how some eat more weight on others, and confirmation plays a big part of not being able to tell whether your pony is too fat or not, because confirmation is very important, in that we were also discussing this at the judges seminar, that the ponies that run the forest, there's some out there that look particularly thin that aren't particularly thin. It's just that their conformation isn't as good as it should be. So if they're quite long with slopey backside, they look poor.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't know where I was today. I can't even remember where I've been, but over to Furzy Gardens actually. But we passed a load of ponies there that looked really poor compared to the ones you see more locally. So it might be that they're not so well bred.
So we've done a good job with the pony breeders of improving mares and and getting better mares out there, so that we don't have this problem. And we do a forest fed scheme, which means they're not fed up. I always find that they used to call it something else. We used to call it the non-hand fed, which I thought was a better name. Because what it means is it's for ponies to be entered that have never been fed anything on the forest. They just live out on the forest. And then there's prizes, and then an overall championship and everything. And it's really encouraged the commoners to, show off their good mares and breed from those good mares, and I think not keep the ones that aren't so good.
I had my little delve into doing commoning, and one of the little foals that I bought was out of one of the Strides Forest fed winners.
Yes,
can't remember the
they've got some super
solo perhaps. But anyway, that foal has done amazingly. She's hardy. She always looks great. Another one out of a different mare was really poor. She's doing all right now because she's been sold privately and isn't in the forest. But she just couldn't cope.
Yeah, no, it's really good to look at. If you want to buy a foal, look at those mares that have won the championships. They're always going to do well. And they're the great ones to have. We had Pete and I had a couple of champions last year, which was lovely. We actually do call one of them Fat Lard. She's actually called Roulard, but she's really Fat Lard. Because it doesn't matter where she lives on the forest every day of the year. She never comes in, and she looks quite chubby. You wouldn't want her any chubbier in the summer. And so Fat Lard is doing well.
And are things changing in the judging world? Because it used to be the fat ponies won.
Well, this is what this seminar was all about.
About
really getting at the judges and saying, it's time to move these ponies down. But you've got to get it rolling, because I think people are thinking, I don't want to be the first one to do that. But,
well, people need,
they're making a
need
really
to know
big
if they make an effort to get their ponies in healthy condition rather than show condition.
Yes.
That they're going to be.
Well, we had a complete day of it where the vet came and gave a talk about it. Then the adjutors came and gave a talk about, roly-poly ponies on the forest are not much use any more than really thin ones.
No.
So you want good conformation, you want decent ponies, and then Jill Wright gave a fantastic talk to the judges about identifying the weight and how wrong it is to be like that, and how it can impede the pony's movement and the way it looks, and that using fat to cover up faults shouldn't be there. You should be able to see beyond that. So we're working really hard at trying to make sure with the vets and everybody to get those ponies to a working weight rather than and we can all get a bit lapsed, can't we? And get a bit think, oh God, look at that, a bit chubby.
Yeah.
But you just got to get your eye in, and that's the difference, is getting used to seeing a pony that's the right weight, because some people are a bit like, oh no, I can't have my pony like that.
Yeah.
But, we're working hard at it.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job.
No.
It's got to be done.
And it's not easy to manage, even if you have really good intentions. But I think particularly with horses that live out 24/7, it's quite hard to manage their weight.
Yes, it is.
I think if they come in half the time, at least you have some opportunity to limit or
it is. And I
the
think,
opposite.
I think going back to you saying about weighing the hay nets, this is very important, because people think, oh, my pony's going to be in there at 4 o'clock in the evening because it's dark and I won't be here till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and you see them struggling where they are with 2 of the biggest hay nets you've ever seen, and you're thinking, oh my God, don't do that.
But I think some horses don't overeat. So there are some horses you could put that massive hay net and they would finished it by the morning. But there will be natives
that will eat
that will eat the whole
including the bed.
lot by an hour later.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So we do try to encourage people to use weight. It's very easy. Those little hang-up weight things are easy.
I never had that.
And then they're really quite shocked how much. And also this year we encouraged it because we were finding that people were stuffing the hay nets.
Yes.
And then throwing it on the muck heap in the morning when the horse hadn't eaten it, and we're like, hello. This is
so you've had the same as me, because we've got weighing things now.
But amazingly, we had that rain, didn't we, after all that dry spell, and our grass went crazy. We were actually shutting horses back, and we didn't use half the hay we thought we were going to. We really didn't. It was we were pleasantly surprised.
I have noticed, having had, you couldn't get hay anywhere, there's quite a lot of people now advertising their excess hay.
Yes.
They're like, oh.
It went up to like £150 a round bale. I was like, you've got to be joking.
Yeah.
I'd go and buy haylage before I did that.
Yeah.
I use haylage actually, but I mean, the haylage was just as bad. You couldn't get anything.
Yeah, we didn't have a problem getting haylage, not at all. Not small.
Well, luckily I get mine from the same lovely Darren Dorr, who I will mention because he's amazing and very fair. Yeah. So I had mine in, but I did think it wasn't going to last when we had the panic. We've survived the winter.
Yeah, I know. I had one friend that she buys every year off the same chap. He delivered a barn full in, and then came back to her and said, I'm sorry, I've got to take half of it back. And she said, oh, my dead body, I've been with you for 20 years. You're not touching that. And he was like, but I sold it to you at the price. And she said the prices that we'd agreed.
I don't think that happens in
You're
business.
not having it back.
To
resell it again. Yeah, he was going to take it back. He wanted to take half back.
And sell it at a higher price.
Yes.
Wow.
She said, no way. Not if you ever want to sell to me hay ever again.
Yeah,
so left it there.
No, I get mine from Darren as well. And in fact, he's just delivered me some hay. But I was like, oh God, how much is it going to be? But it was really reasonable.
Yeah. There's quite a lot on the market now, isn't there?
Yes, it does. I think we're over that crisis, and I hope it never happens again.
God. But do you know we actually need a bit of rain at the moment? On our fields, we're just harrowing and rolling, and it's
we're in the middle of that.
Ours was done yesterday evening.
Was it?
Yeah.
So today was the morning where you put the horses out on the immaculate field, and then they all go, whee!
Yeah, it looks like a plough
skidding.
field.
I'm like, oh my
God. We're just getting to that stage. But first of all, I mean, it was the wettest winter I think I can ever remember.
Yes.
So to be asking for rain now is pretty crazy.
I'm
But
not asking for rain.
we are.
Mandy, be quiet.
My fields aren't that dry.
Some of our fields are on gravel, so it's tricky.
It's all right. It's April Fool Day. Everybody just mean it. It just doesn't mean it.
Oh dear.
She wants rain.
So before we round up.
Well, I wanted to do a shout out to lovely Jade Jex, who is one of our local friends and part of the Big Brave Pants, and did her first BE.
She did.
At the weekend at Tweedledown.
Oh.
Double clear, absolutely amazing. I've never seen pictures of anyone looking so happy.
I know.
And she's worked really hard because it was she's a very well bred mare, but had been a brood mare. I think she's probably about 10. So and I don't know, a year ago when Jade got her, she couldn't get on her, and she's done amazingly. So I just wanted to say that. Well done, Jade. And it's very well deserved.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
She looked lovely on the videos going around, didn't she?
Yes.
So, really.
And that's,
really
I think that's what this group's about.
Yes, it is. It is just about encouraging everybody with
Yes.
no judgment. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
that
what
would be nice.
And
you want to
dream
do.
big.
Yeah, you know,
Yes.
it's
And yeah, I mean, yeah, so big doesn't mean badminton in our world,
No.
does it? Dream big just
No.
means dreaming what you all want to do.
yeah.
No, I'm on a group as well. It's the older ladies, and it's been really good
Mm.
because there's people on this in the 70s, 80s still riding
Yeah.
and all encouraging each other.
Yeah.
And that it's nice to have. I mean, we laugh because we say, "Oh, we've been out for an hour today,"
Yeah.
like, with a wonky hip,
Yeah.
agony. But it's an achievement.
Yes.
And so you
absolutely.
think, you can ride. If
Yeah.
I had knee replacement and I rode 3 months after that.
Yeah.
Much to my surgeon's annoyance.
Yeah,
He said he hates horse people.
I was going to say they do, don't
They
they?
really
Oh,
don't like
actually,
those people.
one of my liveries is about to have knee surgery as well, so perhaps I'll have to get her in touch with
Yeah,
you. She'll
well,
love
yeah,
to hear
absolutely.
that you were.
No, absolutely
back to
That's
fantastic.
Rosie, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
who's also been on one of our podcasts. So,
Yeah.
She's 70 something.
I
70?
think she's 70 something. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not going to
it-
guess
it
in
would be
case
the
we
best
get
thing
it
she'd
wrong.
done. Best thing she ever did.
Yes.
It is just so fantastic to get it, and if she can still ride a bit, it
Yeah.
really helps.
Yeah.
Because I had mine done, and the physio came round. I had it done at 3:00 in the afternoon. 8:00 the next morning, the physios were round,
Yeah.
and I was sat with my leg out straight,
Mm.
bandaged up. They came and took the bandage off, and the physio said, "We're just going to prep the next lady. If you could just slide your foot back to as far as it will bend."
Yeah.
So he came back and I'm sat like this,
Yeah.
and he said, "What have you done?
Right, ready to ride. I should
Yeah,
think
and
with
he
your knees
said-
at that sort of angle.
How did you get your leg there?" I said, "You told me to bend it." And he said, "Stay where you are." So I went and got the other physio. He said, "Look, she's got a leg." And I said, "Have I broken it?" I was like mortified. "Have I broken it?" And he said, "No, nobody's ever moved it there before." He said, let me feel your muscles." He said, "You've got really good muscles." And I said, "I'm a rider." He went, "Oh, I should have known. You're all idiots." You're all idiots. And he said, "But that is amazing flexion." I felt like a
Yeah.
horse. Amazing flexion. And he said, "Have you ridden right up to the operation?" I said, "Yeah, because it was more comfortable than walking."
Yeah.
And he said, "And that's what kept your muscle tone." He said, "The biggest problem we get is people that don't keep
Mm.
the muscle
Yeah.
before they tell her to keep
Oh, she
exercising.
still is riding, so
Yeah,
that's
and
good.
Yeah.
And walking
Do
her
the
dog a
physio
lot.
that you get,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because people don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't-
we'll have to put Mandy in touch with
Yes,
Rosie.
I
Yeah.
would,
Yes.
actually.
it's honestly, it was looking at you would. I mean, it gets a bit puffy, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't know. And
No.
my husband's got 2, and these are fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they didn't want to do him either because he was a farmer and said, "Oh, we hate people that jump out of tractors." You won't have a knee for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh no, but it is. I think that's what's great about these groups,
Mm.
and it is all about just celebrating one another and cheering everybody on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the
And we
world
kind
is
of
so
share. I mean, I put my little video of me jumping
yeah.
on there, and I want to say, but this is not. We are not a group that puts on.
On the YouTube,
And we're not
channel,
putting our
wasn't it?
riding on because it's amazing.
This was on the YouTube.
on my
channel,
YouTube,
wasn't it? Yeah,
on
that's
our
it.
shorts that we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Well, Gemma always puts up
Very
amazing videos, and then Leslie, Vicky, and I, because we ride together,
Yeah.
and Dawn and that, we're just happy to get home alive. Really. The ponies are really good, but we go out and we have such a laugh and we
Yeah.
enjoy it. And I think I've competed a lot, but I'm
Yeah.
enjoying what I'm doing now just as much.
Yeah.
I don't compete anymore, but we have the best time.
Yeah.
I think
The
the other
best
thing
time
is, the
together.
better you get at riding,
Yeah.
the more you realise how much better you've got to
Yeah,
be to be as good as you'd really want to be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would love to be a lot better.
Yeah, I think I achieved that. I don't mean that big-headedly. I mean, like, I want to just chill.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to ride out and enjoy it.
Mm.
And we have times we're out on babies, ponies
Yeah.
still. We're so
Yeah.
stupid, and we're like, "Oh my god, he walked through the river!" And baby, we sound like French and Saunders, like,
Yeah.
"Come on, Peter Pan! Come on, Peter Pan! We can go through the river." Oh, look at that! He went straight through the river, and I said to him, "Have you heard us?" We used to be national champions. Now we're just glad to trot through a river, but we're still loving it.
I'd love
Still-
to reenact that. Wouldn't you love to reenact
Oh,
that
that
French and
is
Saunders
Oh,
one?
it's
Yeah.
such fun, isn't it?
Yeah. What was
Such fun. When she couldn't get the horse's head
yeah,
up. I
Dawn
love that.
French. That
Dawn
was
French.
so that was
Walk on, walk on.
Yes.
It still had its head down.
and then you've got Jennifer Saunders. You bugger! You bugger!
zooming past all the time. I know, that's what I can't say. Tell
So
you,
we need
Yeah.
to make people look up that French and Saunders.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah, we need
We've
to
got
we
two
need
things
to,
to watch.
um,
Rachel the Rough Riders and French and Saunders.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, I'm
French
going to be
and Saunders.
roaring with laughter.
I love that. I don't know how many times I watch
But
it.
we're
I love it.
getting
Are we?
from our
Oh, yeah, so
timekeeping
We
person.
We
just
are.
let you
I
know. I
can
think
hear
we
it.
said this before. We could talk for hours, but
Yeah.
We could.
have to.
No,
We'd
we could
still be here by the morning, wouldn't we? If we were left to our
Yeah,
own
well, we're going to
devices.
have to have you back. I think
Oh, bless
maybe you and Dawn are going to do
Yes.
one together,
That'd
aren't
be
you?
lovely.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that'd be
yeah, that'd be
But
fantastic.
isn't it wonderful that we have this common interest that
Yeah.
we can share?
Yeah,
And I've got so many friends everywhere, haven't you? And
Yeah.
all over the world. And horses have done so much for us, haven't they?
yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
really
I
have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
done so much.
Do without
Yeah.
horses.
No, I
they really
couldn't.
have.
No.
yeah.
I have got a few friends, well, possibly only one actually, that doesn't like horses.
Might be one.
I don't know whether
Only
she'll
one.
watch this. But Vicky will know if she
Yeah.
does. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe Catherine as well. Two
Yeah.
friends
Yeah.
maybe that aren't horsey, but yes,
Yeah.
every other friend I have
Yeah.
is through
It's
horses.
just that wonderful meeting where you all know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
And you all enjoy it.
yeah. No, it's
Well, it's been
lovely.
fabulous. Thank you very much for having
Oh,
me.
thank you,
Oh,
Mandy.
you're
You're very welcome.
So, for everybody watching, I hope you enjoy this episode. And if you could like and subscribe and share the Big Brave Pants channel with your friends. And we're also on Spotify as well. So, if you could like and do all that good stuff on Spotify, remember the word this week.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, that's Spotify, that's the word.
don't
If you
know
could
what
do
that
all
is.
of that as well, that would be
look it up.
fantastic. And Mandy, we'd just like to thank you.
Oh, I
and
loved it.
please keep wearing your big brave pants.
I will. I will. I do have to get braver now that I've got a
Yeah.
dodgy hip. And I sometimes get on and I think, maybe.
Well, good luck with
Yeah.
your surgery.
Yes.
I hope you get it soon.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do that fundraising.
Yeah, maybe we will to get Mandy back riding.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel a bit bad.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Good night.
All
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
Night.
Click clop dreams in a dusty dance. Hooves hit the ground like a brave romance. Through the wire, through the breeze. Big brave pants riding with ease. Big brave pants trot to the beat. Step by step, it's a rhythmic feat. Brave and bold, no second glance. Saddle up tight in your big brave pants. Gallop through fields, let the rhythm sway. Every hoofbeat says we'll find our way. Tick tock, clip clop, onward we prance. Living the dream in big brave pants.